For years, I have been saying that the best thing about Ghost of Tsushima, despite the game being great, obviously, was Legends. And today, we have been blessed with the update, the one we've been waiting for, Ghost of Yotei Legends. And let me tell you already, this update, this version of Legends, it's so good. It almost feels like they took everything that worked with Ghost of Tsushima and just made it better. I promise you, it is so good. So, how do you have access to the Legends DLC thingy? Well, you just need to have the game. I do believe in the future you will be able to just get Legends separately without having to get the main game, but as of right now, they want you to spend your money and get the free content. It's just what it is. And yeah, you may have to get the game first before you have access to Legends. But let me tell you already, let me be honest, this is the best version of Legends and it can only get better from here. I do think this is a step in the right direction. I think they should do everything they can to get the feedback and keep making updates for at least 2 or 3 years because this is a banger. So first of all, what is new? They have the tutorial, which I think they also had before in Tsushima, but now they have this hub, this lobby, and let me tell you, this is the best thing they put in the game as far as I'm concerned, because right now you don't have to sit in the menu whenever you're waiting for friends to join, whenever you're waiting for thinking about the next thing you want to do. No, you just have this big hub area where you can interact with different things to maybe modify your classes, maybe modify your gear, your build, even play some challenges. Just get they have some bamboo strike challenges just right in the hub, in the lobby. It's like, you know how Legends felt separate from the game, but this time it feels like they took all the mechanics that you would have in the game and then added Legends on top of it. You can even play against people. You can play the minigame, the Zen Hakiji, or I don't remember how it's called. But you can play the minigame against people or against your friends, and you can even see the leaderboard against the people you just played against. That's crazy good. I promise you, I can see people just having 2, 3, 4 friends just spending time in the lobby, just doing nothing, talking, chilling. This is great. See, this is what I'm talking about. They have the recipe for making co-op games. It's not just about doing the balls and gun games. No, this is the way. We don't need to go pew pew all the time. Ghost of Tsushima paved the way. All you need to do is just copy the recipe and do it all over again. And this is what Yotei Legends is. So let's go over the classes. We have the samurai, your typical samurai. You have the archer. Her arrows never miss. They have the mercenary, which I think is basically the Ronin. I'm not sure. And then the shinobi, which is the assassin. And it may feel pretty similar. This game will feel pretty similar, even though I'm pretty sure they did change a few things, especially when it comes to the way your abilities work and the way you unlock them. I feel like this is not going to be as troublesome to make builds. I don't know yet, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be as troublesome to make builds because they give you way more options and it's also easier to unlock. I feel like you won't have to choose between doing the Hachiman Fury 5 times or just dealing more damage, or just being able to have your flames or your ability class deal more damage or come back faster. So at first glance, it feels like, yeah, they put some thought into builds and everything. You still have your overall level, you have your rank and then your level. And based on your level, your actual level, the missions are going to be either easy or hard. And speaking of missions, you have 3 of them, I believe. Let me make sure I don't speak out of my ass here. Yeah, when it comes to the campaign and the missions, you have your typical ones. You also have the incursion, which I think is up to 4 people. I don't know if it's possible to do that with only 3 or 2, because they say up to, not 4 people. So maybe you could do that with 4 people or just 3 or 2, I don't know. And then you have the missions, you have survival, which is making a comeback, of course. You also have a raid, which is coming out sometime in the future, which is going to be a typical mission, which takes like an hour or 2 to complete and has to be completed with 4 people, not 3, not 5, 4 people. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I only played the missions, so I can't speak about survival. But when it comes to the missions, I always felt like Tsushima, it's almost like they took some of the levels in the game and just made them, ported them into Tsushima Legends and then changed the enemies and whatnot, but this time it feels like they just crafted those levels from the ground up, and it feels so refreshing, so new, and so interesting because they have some interesting mechanics. Whenever you start a mission, there's going to be the option to choose your class. Let's say you get something wrong and you want to change some things. Well, you can do that now. You can also choose some modifiers and they can change the way the enemies behave, or just something you need to complete in order to get more rewards. And let me tell you already, we chose some pretty nasty one on a gold mission. We had a Yotei, basically a spirit chase after us, and it was actually multiple spirits. And let me tell you, be careful. You need to make sure that you have the decent gear level before you venture into gold or anything higher, because it is tough, it is rough, and they do not let you breathe. You can really see the meaning of collaboration, cooperation. You can tell that you need to rely on each other, on your teammates, and they also need to rely on you, and it is absolutely great. When it comes to the actual mission, the layout, I wouldn't say that I got too far, but as far as I'm concerned, you know how in Tsushima they had those missions where they had those enemies which had an aura, and you had to use a specific bow, make them vulnerable. I don't know they had this level of cooperation here, but as far as I'm concerned, I can tell it's pretty intense. And I do like the fact that you can make the runs harder, and maybe definitely in the future, whenever you play with higher level gear, maybe you get to 120 again, maybe that's the cap, I don't know yet. But maybe when you get to max level, those missions are not going to hit the same. But as of right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty good. It's really, really good. I can't wait to get into Nightmare Survival. Maybe you will be able to get those modifiers there as well. But yeah, the game seems really, really good. And I can tell again that this is not an afterthought. It feels like they worked on this game alongside Yotei from the very beginning. It feels like they worked on this version of Legends from the very beginning. That this is not something you do after making Yotei. This was always the plan, and I think they delivered big time. Now I'm found something else I need to mention is people want to be able to play duels, to play against each other. There was a version, there were rivals. Yeah. I will say though, we have a hub right now and you can invite people and see them in your lobby. You can interact with them, you can challenge them to some mini games. I don't really want this to be a thing, but I think they have the potential to just make people fight each other. Why not have duels? They had that thing where you could compete against other players in Tsushima. It was called Rivals, but it's not quite the same. I think people want a 1v1 thing where they can just go at it, like two samurais, two shinobis, whatever, just going at it. I think that could be very fun because they definitely could do that right now. They already have the whole lobby in one place. I think only a few settings they need to change and they can make that possible. So yeah, I think there might be a future where co-op or even 1v1s are going to be possible. And that day, oh god. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good package. Honestly, for $70 you get the main game, which I think was good, and then you get Legend, which I think is amazing. I think that's money well spent. That's a good way to spend your money. Now again, I know there will be a future where you can get Legends, Yotei, this version without having to play the main game. That's really good. And when it comes to builds, I will spend some days, some weeks just trying to understand how this game works, because I did say that they did change some things. You can tell that they did change some things. Usually it's just quality of life improvement. You can tell they tried to make the experience smoother and tried to explain almost every single feature. But yeah, I will be grinding. I don't know if I have a favorite class just yet, but I'm just rocking the Shinobi. I will try to get every single one of them to max level. I don't know they have things like the Forbidden Medicine or some other things they can share from one class to another. But I will tell you, every single feature which is in the main game is also here. You can get disarmed. You can use the rifle. The rifle is absolutely crazy, and yeah, this is a very promising game. I gotta say, it's quite refreshing to see that they really worked on this thing. They really took their time. You can tell that this was not an afterthought. They didn't make Yotei and then thought, what do we do next? You can tell this was always the plan, to make Yotei and then make Legends because of the success of the first game. And mind you, this has no microtransactions, nothing. You only buy the game and you have access to Legends. And I gotta say, based on my experience so far, I haven't played survival, but the missions, we were having fun. I want them to keep updating this game because I see the potential, I see the vision. They just need to keep listening to the community and just keep putting things we actually want. This is great. I can't wait to dump 200 or 300 hours in this game, and I will be making guides, build videos, so subscribe for more. And let me tell you already what class you actually play, and let me tell you which class would you like me to cover in my next videos. As of right now, I'm playing as a shinobi and I'm having a good time. The guns, they feel so good. Anyway, I'm Jisoo and this is big. This is so big. I'll see you soon. Stay tuned. Peace.